I am light, I am light. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Rad Anderson and I am co-CEO of Sisterhood Connections. And I'm here with Gina Harris, founder and CEO of Sisterhood Connections, and Melissa Keele, an amazing, inspirational woman who is super, super courageous. And I feel really, really blessed and honored to have Melissa here with us today, because today we're talking about random acts of kindness in honor of Brittany Nicole Keele. And what we're doing today is ensuring that we keep her loving spirit alive. Even though evil took her life, we are going to talk about how we keep that loving spirit alive and hear from Melissa Keele and her message on how we can take goodness from this situation.
Thank you, Raj, for that. And just real quick before we dig into this absolutely inspirational story, I just want to say how God kind of brought Melissa and I together last year. Interestingly enough, we were connected through Facebook, through random people. I don't even remember exactly the details, but this is kind of that remembering how God and the universe works, teaming people up. When we connected, we both have daughters named Brittany, and also the same spelling, which isn't a common way to spell it. So we were giggling online about that. And then we found out, I can't remember how we found out, but how close we lived together, within miles of each other. We could have been placed anywhere on this planet, and it was literally within miles. So we knew in that moment that we needed to meet. So we met for coffee. And that's kind of how this journey started. And last year at Sisterhood Connections, in the month of December, we did random acts of peace and kindness. And I believe when you and I met, it was after we had launched that. And it was in my spirit that in honor, I really wanted to, share your message, share your daughter's message. And so we have chosen to really have a day in Sisterhood Connections instead of the month. And this year we're going to really honor your movement for Brittany, and we chose 1212, and also just because of the sacredness in the numbers with 1212, and I won't go into detail about that, but even biblically there's so much, so many special messages there. So on Monday 1212 we are going to really be sharing this story and also just encouraging everyone to do this random acts of peace and kindness in honor of Brittany. And so first and foremost, thank you for joining us today. We're so happy to have you. And so we would love for you to kind of just share your story.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I am amazed at the people that I meet. So yes, I agree. I think God definitely put us together. I've had a lot of that happening the past years. I am here because I do have a Facebook page named Random Acts of Kindness in honor of Brittany Nicole Keele. And the reason why we did that is because we unfortunately lost Brittany at age 23. She was in Germany and Hamburg getting her master's, and she was only there for 2 months. But she had been gearing up for that since she was started college. So she wanted to go whenever she graduated from high school. She was 17, a March baby. She graduated a year early. and she wanted to go then. And we said, no, there's no way. So she stayed and did what we asked and got her degree at U of H, and then decided she wanted to go to Germany for her master's. And she had earned her own money, $10,000. So I say this so you'll know that what kind of spirit Brittany was. She definitely, obviously wanted to travel. She loved culture, and that's why she loved Hamburg, because it had history and culture. And so anyway, it was right up her alley, and she did this. She was a very independent person, so she did this on her own. That's why I say the $10,000 on her own. If there was a bus that took her there, she would have gone on the bus. She loved to ride the bus. I didn't understand it myself, but she loved to ride the bus because she loved the people there. She wanted to watch them and learn from all the different characters. So she went, and we were very excited for her, very sad that she was going. At the same time, as the mama, I wanted to stay, but I love my children in the way that I want them to be their own people. And so she went, and unfortunately we got a call August 31st, 2011. Nobody wants that call. I pray with all my heart that those calls stop, but unfortunately they continue. For people, and found out that Brittany was actually, I hate to say this word, but she was brutally murdered on the 31st of 2011 in Hamburg and I want to state this just so people know, it wasn't by a German man, it was by a Greek man. So we have no feelings towards Germany in a bad way. We love them. They were beautiful to us. We have lifelong friends there because we had to go there twice. So, and they loved Brittany, and they were horrified at what happened. But so the random acts of kindness, the reason why we decided that is because Britt, that embodied what she was. I mean, she didn't expect things back. She thought of others. She was so compassionate. Again, she grew up in Pearland all her life, and so she had many, many friends there. She had friends other places, but Pearland was her base. And if you talk to the kids that she went to school with, they would tell you she just, they think of her often because of the things they taught her. She was a leader, but she didn't realize it. She was a person that didn't need the kudos. She didn't need you to tell her things that she was great or thank you. To her, just doing what she did was enough. I am able to speak like this only because God. It took me every bit of this time to be able to. Now, I could do one-on-ones with people, but God has been amazing in working. I get up every day not knowing what's going to happen, and I embrace it because I know He's with me. And He gives me the strength to do it. And even though I have butterflies doing this, this isn't my thing. It is I have a 30-year-old and a 25-year-old, so they're more into this kind of thing than I, meaning that getting on video is a little difficult for me, but I push through it because I love my daughter, and I have to be, the sign of the times. I have to do the same thing.
Thank you, Melissa. And I just want to build on what you're saying a little bit. And I'd like to ask you a little bit more about random acts of kindness and keeping Brittany's loving spirit alive. So can you tell us a little bit more about why random acts of kindness is so important to you and this movement for keeping her spirit alive?
I'd say random acts of kindness for me, first of all, like I said, it embodies Brittany. That's exactly who she was. That's what she did every day. And I think that it's perfect to help the world. We have sadness and hatefulness and controversy and all that all the time. And I think we lose sight of what we're here for. And I know for me, you know, if I'm in the Starbucks line and somebody pays for my coffee when I pull up, I mean, that warms your heart. You're just like, wow, you're so not expecting those things. And that's why I say random, because I think I can tell you many of the things that we've done, and I can see on people's faces, they're shocked that people are kind, that they do things. And so I would say it just gives, you know, people hope that there are still kind things going on and people are still full of love. And I want people to, I think it's whenever you do a random act of kindness, it actually, I think, helps them want to do it also. I think you have that chain that happens, chain reaction. And like I said, that's why we do it. We do it because it embodies Brit, and I believe it helps the world.
And I know you mentioned, Melissa, that you do it 2 times a year, right? Isn't her birthday in March?
Yes.
And you also do it in August.
Yes.
So how do people get involved? Like you mentioned that you have a Facebook page, but how do you get that message out when that day comes?
Well, what I do is I do an invite, like I create an event. And I do an event and I send it out to as many as possible. Being a Facebook page like that, it is public. And of course, Facebook only allows you to invite so many now. So I invite as many as possible. And then I put it on my page. And then I invite everybody and I ask them to invite. So that's how it goes. Like all my friends invite, hopefully, and they do. A lot of people invite, and so it catches on, and it's amazing the feedback that we get too. We love that so much whenever people actually come back to us and tell us on the Facebook page that they did do a random act of kindness, and they tell us what it is. It just warms our heart so much because we know Brittany's in it.
Yeah. And I know for me, you know, even doing a random acts of kindness feels so good, but doing it in honor, you know, thinking about Brittany, just bringing that even more so into your spirit, even gives it, you know, the richness even more.
Thank you, Gina. So Sisterhood Connections is really, really honoured to dedicate 12/12 this month in December in honour to Brittany. How can we further help with Brittany's legacy, Melissa?
Well, let's see. Of course, like I said, the random acts of kindness, that would be amazing. And thank you so much for allowing Brittany to be on 12/12. I know I believe that she can see and hears you and knows. So, I think just loving your fellow man. I know that for us, it's in the works. I don't know how long it will take, but we're going to do a foundation for Britt. And I know that there are tons of things that we want to do for the world, you know, scholarships and all different kinds of things. I wanted to do one thing and I couldn't find the one thing, and I was really angsting over it. And my husband came up with a great idea. And that is, let's just do a foundation so we can do all different kinds of things for Brittany. So Britt's legacy is just love, compassion, caring about others. I mean, really listening to them whenever they speak. You know, when a person speaks, a lot of times we are only thinking of what we're going to say next. That is not the way you really listen to someone. Britt, whenever she saw somebody on the street and they were asking for money, she was the type of soul that not only gave them money, but asked, why are you here? You know, and when she said, can I help you? She really meant, can I help you? It wasn't just something nice that we say.
Yeah.
That's the kind of legacy. Like I said, really, really caring about people, really listening to people's stories, just loving mankind.
I love that. And, as we even hear that, it is so simple, right? Because we talk about how we can change the world, and it's not always these big things. It starts with the connection between each other. And I know in Sisterhood Connections, that really is kind of our message too, about that sisterhood. And the reason, Melissa, that I love this story so much is because, and I know on your Facebook page, people can go on there and kind of read the whole story, right? And we won't get into all of that. But what I got was even deeper than even just the beautiful, amazing, how you turned the pain into this beautiful, light, and taking the darkness out of it and making something good out of a painful situation. And also seeing the beauty between a mother and a daughter, but also how the community came together. As you said, in Germany, you made so many friends. Think of all the beautiful things that Brittany is still doing, and working through. So for me, just reignited my spirit. And just like you said, this constant reminder of how we need to be in the world, and being that change that we wish to see in the world. And so because we really want to end on this beautiful, bringing Brittany's spirit to this, right? But what would you say that Brittany's biggest message is to the world? As we come to a close, how people can feel Brittany's spirit in this?
I would say definitely, absolutely, unequivocally, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, because I get that a lot, as far as not that question, but a lot of people say, why did you let her go? And of course, I didn't know what was going to happen. I wouldn't have let her go if I knew. But I have to say, again, the way I think I should mother, we create these human beings, and they are individuals. Whether you have 3 girls, 3 boys, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you have the same sex, they're all different. And Brittany wanted to go so badly. And I say to you, if your child wants to go, I know it's hard. It's bittersweet. Don't be afraid of what life has in store for your child. Brittany is, I think my oldest looked it up. It's like 1%. This doesn't happen to people. It's not an everyday occurrence in your world. There's like 1%. So let your child go. They need to go. Brittany would say, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to live your life. Don't let others keep you from living your life. Don't let evil things around this world keep you, because you've got to live while you're living. Yes. You've got to live while you're living. If you're not living while you're living, you're not living. Yes, you're breathing, but you're not here. You've got to live. So don't let things that happen to other people put you in a fearful mode that, you aren't. I understand the fear. I understand it because I feel it, but I push it away too, because I've had this happen, right? So you can imagine, I have 2 other children. They're grown, yes, and I also have grandchildren. But I push that aside because I don't think that's of God. I truly don't. I don't think He wants us to be fearful. He wants us to get up every day and do what fills our soul. And so if it be travel, if it be, go off and be away from your parents because it's time to move away. All those things, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, just don't be afraid, because that stifles your life.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Melissa. And I think that incredible message, not just for me, for all of us, for anybody that's listening, the inspiration from yourself of courage and not being afraid. I think there's just so much learning in there. I want to thank you for this message that you've shared with us all, of taking something, as you said, that was evil and turning that light into an opportunity for the rest of us, to be able to participate in random acts of kindness in honor of Brittany. And we're really excited to be able to share that on 12/12 and spread that love and spread that joy. So we ask everybody who is listening to us today to take strength from this amazing woman who is giving us this tool, this light, this ability through Brittany to be able to have faith and joy and not be afraid. Thank you from all my heart, Melissa.
And what a beautiful message. Just like Raj said, you know, not being afraid. There's so much in that. What a beautiful way to end this interview. And it's really about remembering to not have, we all have and experience that fear. I see so much courage in you, and even just being in your presence and talking with you, feeling that courage and that power. And I know that God is working through you to change lives. And I just feel honored and privileged to, you know, be able to have this time and space to share her message, your message with the world. And as we always do, when we connect with people, we invite them to our sisterhood circle, and know that we have Brittany and we bring her to our sisterhood circle of light. And always honoring who she is, her spirit, her energy, her drive and excitement for life. And even for the short amount of time she spent on earth, how much she did. She fully lived. And we can all use that in our own life. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
And just on a final note for that, everybody who's listening, please come and join us on December 12th, 2016, 12/12, to be part of Random Acts of Kindness in honor of Brittany Nicole Keele. Whatever it is that you can do, even if it's something small on that day, smiling, giving love, let's spread that message. Let's spread more love and joy. So please come to our page on Facebook, Sisterhood Connections. Please come and join our group, Sisterhood Connections. And we also have our website where we will be featuring some more information at www.sisterhoodconnections.org. So please come and join us in spreading more peace, love, and joy with Melissa and in honor of Brittany.
Yes. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing this time with us.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored, and I know Brittany is too.
Thank you.